Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm MaryAnne and you're watching MaryAnne's Mystic Mentions. Wow, I want to give a special thank you to each and every one of you out there. I love you dearly for your incredible support I've been getting and your subscribing and your comments. Everything is incredibly inspirational to me and deeply appreciated. So thank you very much for that. And welcome to my new series, Love Connections, which really basically, if you're new, what happens is I toss the dice randomly each time just before I start to videotape, and then it lands on the astrological wheel and I read the sun signs for two specific people and kind of break it down on each side for each sign and kind of express a little bit about their personality, their traits. And this is strictly the sun signs of each, because that's important. I say that because each planet has such different energetic pulls for us and meanings, and expressing different parts of us, from our emotions to our physical aspect to our ability to recognize what we like, what we, how early we get up or not, what kind of job, what we like to wear. That's our personality. That is the sun. And the sun is 1/12 of all the planets born the very moment that you were born. So it's just a piece of the puzzle, but it starts there and it's powerful. And so I'm keeping it with just the sun signs for now. And I do want to say that I have to say, it's been an interesting attempt to make this video. This will be my third attempt. So I generally always finish this reading with some beautiful and important energies that'll come through the tarot, as well as my oracle messages and guidance that comes for upliftment, encouragement, more clarity, definitely bringing the positive aspects in our lives. We need that desperately, and that's what I'm all about. So the camera did not take both of the previous videos, so I already shuffled the cards and put them out, and I think it's very important that I stick with what is here, because it was absolutely meant for the two of you as a couple, as great friends, whatever love means to you in this relationship, because it can be on many different levels with different circumstances. So to start out, we'll talk about the sign of Pisces, and I think I've uploaded at least one other. So if you've heard the information on this, I try to add a little bit of new thing each time, but if you want to fast forward to just the reading, feel free to do so. The combination of Pisces and Libra has not happened though. I won't repeat the same thing. And this is June 16th, 2020. This is the third month legitimately of the shut-in for myself as a massage therapist, eagerly waiting to go back, but passionately loving my purpose as a reader of many years. So the sign of Pisces is definitely a water sign. It's the water element, I should say. It's broken into elements. There are 4 elements that create all 12 of the astrological signs, and Pisces is the water element. It is a mutable sign. I'll explain more about that. It is the duality of femininity, the feminine side. There's feminine and masculine in each and every one of us, and we hopefully can find that balance, but just predominantly speaking, there's more receptive energy with the Pisces creating the feminine aspect. And the symbol for Pisces are the 2 fish tied together in the opposite direction, and that says a great deal. It represents, whereas the Aries is the first sign of the zodiac, the Pisces is the 12th. That's the finish. That is the eternal, the continuum, the currency, the everlasting, the deep mystery aspect. And also the changeability, going back to the mutable sign. That represents great adaptation, great ability to change and to conform in any situation, which is a beautiful trait, I think. Extremely important and well seen in many beautiful Piscean actors. The ability to fantasize and kind of change their persona and such is very prevalent with the Pisces. The part of the body that the Pisces rules are the feet. And that says a lot as well, because the feet have to do, of course, besides being usually very nice looking on Pisceans, for reasons, like I said, it's all built in how when you were born and the very many, many deeply connected reasons. It also has to do with the fact that Pisceans need to be very clear on their footing sometimes. Sometimes they have this sensation of kind of just like walking on sand, if you will. I've heard this I'm using this from another wonderful speaker, where there's kind of that unevenness and not feeling really sure-footed. So that's another important aspect of the footing and the feet of Pisceans. And so, but overall, I would say the characteristics very commonly associated with Pisceans are the fact that they are incredibly receptive, intuitive, mysterious, creative, unbelievably creative, artistic. They are very adaptable, as I mentioned, being, the mutable. They are changeable. The currents can definitely change. You can see different size and temperaments. They're very, very, very intuitive and very capable of literally going into a person's psyche, a human psyche, to feel and sense what the needs are of that person. They're empathic is another way to describe that. They just know. And so there's that very deep sensitivity that comes with that. And a lot of times, a Piscean loves to be able to be away from crowds. As much as I think they love socialness and being social and have many, many different forms and types of people that they can get along with and enjoy their lives with, they also absolutely need, an absolute need to be still, to go within and to kind of balance back out that energy so that they're not, zapped or taken too much. It hasn't taken too much because they feel so much, So that's an important part. They're definitely mysterious. They are ruled by the planet Neptune. Neptune is completely about hidden and changeable and mysterious fantasy, just kind of smokescreen a lot of times, not really completely real, but not really knowing what is real and what isn't in the material world versus the spiritual world. It seems as though Pisces they always have one of their fins, if you will, in one aspect of that at all times, knowing the spiritual and knowing the material and combining the two, which is an amazing gift, like a chameleon is the reference I like. So there's some beautiful, beautiful, sensitive, fun, loving, usually beautiful eyes. Wonderful heart, compassionate sign. Very giving and willing to give to others a lot. And then you have the Libra. So the Libra is the element of air, and air is about the mind. It's about the intellect. Whereas Pisceans rule and do most things through their emotion, the air signs and the element of air, like Libra, is about doing it through their mind, through their thoughts, their intellect, really dissecting and seeing both sides to a situation that they can think about and work through and strategize, and then in turn verbalize and try to express in a calm and kind and diplomatic, balanced, justified, wanting complete fairness in all things and striving for it at all times. But the Libra is the symbol of the scales. And from way back in mystical times, it was about the balancing of life and material, because the Libra is born on the planet of Venus, and Venus is all about love. It's all about beauty and the luxury and the finer things in life, which Libra is absolutely incredibly attracted to. I've seen very many Libras, though, they live a simple life, so it's not like they have to be extravagant, but they have it in them to do so. And if they can, they absolutely will. But they are very, very, very much a part in their life that really gets them going and keeps that balance. Doing the correct balancing act, if you will, is being with a partner, partnerships of all kinds, relationship, whether it be your soulmate, your best friend, your work partner. I mean, they feel and thrive and are at their very best when they are in union with other people. And they do not like confrontation. So, they're going to do their very best. They are also very intuitive, Libras, so that they can really sense what needs to be said at the right time in the right circumstance. A lot of Libras are incredibly good in the field of lawyers and judges because they want that justice. They want to speak the truth. They want to cut away from this, the lack of integrity, if you will. It's a very strong, important aspect of who they are and what they represent. The part of the body for most Librans that's ruled, I should say, by Libra is the lower back and kidneys. So this simply says that you definitely want to make sure you're getting enough hydration to keep that balance going. There's nothing worse than kidney failure. I mean, without your kidneys, you really can't survive. And then lower back is essential as well. So you want to keep yourself, like I said, balanced as far as maybe in everything, of course, but in exercise and keeping the body moving, which I think most Libras like to do. They like to be active. They are a cardinal sign. They are the doers, the initiators. Every cardinal sign in the astrology has to do with the beginning of a specific season. So that's a brand new start, a new transformation, and with Libra, it's the season of autumn that they represent. So that's a little bit about each, but the main component that I have found for myself in my own personal life, with a lot of Pisceans that I've known, particularly friends, is this definite need for just compatibility, for understanding, for compassion, for truth, for that sensitivity is there too. It's not as strong. It's more in the mind and how they can think and help, which is very complementary to the Piscean. So the Piscean certainly has the intelligence and the capability of expressing and creativity, as I mentioned. And they love that strong point in a Libra to be able to communicate and speak and verbalize how they feel, from the deepest part of them. As well as the Libra loves the sensitivity and the compassion that the Pisceans, basically rule, as far as I'm concerned, in all of the signs. But this inner knowledge, this inner understanding, there's a beautiful, they both love to talk a lot, so they can talk for hours on a subject that they agree on and they're interested in. They love playfulness, they love fun, art, any kind of creative aspect, theater, pictures, beauty, and just a really nice, I think, easier, lighter kind of energy can be here. And if there is situations where there's this need for the Piscean to, like I said, take the time, have that time of aloneness that's necessary, the Libra will understand that. The Libra may be more social in a lot of ways, not necessarily, but they like getting out and about. They don't necessarily need that downtime. In fact, their fuel that brings that energy is to be around people. So they will allow that and accept that, because it's all about accepting anyway. That's what's powerful in any relationship. Lower expectations, far more accepting, right? So I love it, this energy together. And I think it's, well, I've had Piscean friends for my whole life, so that tells you something there. And of course, as I've always said, there's always going to be a very strong element in the sense that, or relationship factor in what all the other planets are, you know? I mean, that's vital, but as a sun versus sun, this is a wonderful match, and I'm super happy to read for you about that. Now, this month is particularly interesting for both the Libra and the Piscean. We are in a major retrograde season, and along with the fact that I've been having issues with my phone and taping, which is of no surprise to me whatsoever, we have a total of 6 retrograde planets by, I believe, the 25th or 27th. And one of them is Mercury retrograde. Yes, I know a lot of you have heard of it. Yes, we lived through it. And yes, it's happening on the 18th of June, which is already just 2 days away. It's the 16th. And I've been feeling it way before because of the shadow period. It'll last through July 12th. It's predominantly affecting it's ruled by Mercury. So when it goes retrograde, it kind of lessens the power, but predominates and focuses in on the transportation aspect, anything moving, you know, our electronics, our phones, you know, things of that nature, or transportation. So things break down, maybe more, not maybe, absolutely more. You definitely don't want to necessarily buy new things. It has to happen sometimes, so I say go for it, but just know you may have to return it later. Keep the receipt. You want to review things and renew, as I have the videos, you know, you just have to redo it, reevaluate, return to things that need a little bit more fine-tuning, as my videos I think will always need. I'm always wanting to improve. You know, there's never enough I can learn. There's constant, I'm a perpetual student of the mystical aspect of life. And so that's happening. Yeah, so if you're feeling that, you're not alone. Coupled with the many retrograde planets that affect all different areas of our lives, just take your time this month. Take in that deep breaths that are necessary to kind of ground yourself and give you the time to really focus in on your most important needs as a couple and for yourselves. And particularly with Venus in retrograde, which is going forward on the 25th, so that's good. But that's about relationships. That's about our love. That's about communication. And then coupled also with the 3 eclipses that we're having, just about 2 weeks apart. We already had the one in Sagittarius on June 5th. All about learning, all about truth, all about justice, all about speaking up and standing up and fighting for what's right and breaking away from the conformities and the things that are no longer working, the structures that have to change. And we all know what I'm speaking of, and it's so absolutely perfect in real time and synchronistically, I can't even speak with the retrograde, but it's all speaking very clearly on what needs to be done, and it is the time, and it is happening. So it's beautiful, but it's emotional. And speaking of which, the next eclipse is on the 20th, which I believe is Saturday, and that's going to be in Cancer. And, you know, once again, Pisces, that's your sister sign. So the water, the emotion, the depths of our compassion is being brought to the surface. And it's about time, right? It's important. You know, as a Libra myself, I'm thinking all these thoughts which tend to create actually more anxiety, I would say, than necessary at times. So I have to literally and purposefully push down to my heart center, my heart chakra, so I can feel the emotion and work from my heart, you know, outwardly, which is going to hopefully help everybody in the long run. And I think that's just a good thing to do in general for everybody. But so we've got that happening, and then the retrograde happens to be in Cancer, another, once again, sister sign to you. So just be aware of the emotions that will occur more so this month, but only to get to the better and the side and the part of us that has to come out and start fresh and new, with new things opening up now, businesses, knock on wood for mine soon, and joining in together and being that strong support for each other is really going to help this month. I'll read you the cards that came out from the messages specifically for you, sometimes from my spirit guides, messages, and ending with a couple of the beautiful oracle messages. The first was the Three of Swords for you. And that's the air element right there. You know, and interestingly enough, we are in sun season of Gemini, your sister air sign Libra. You've got Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra, the three swords, but also predominantly having to do with our thoughts. And generally the Three of Swords in the Rider-Waite is about pain and challenges and heartbreak, you know, things that have been said or done. And, you know, a lot of times exterior wise, you know, it doesn't have to be something that's within yourself, but you're still feeling it equally as much and you're wanting to work through it. It seems as though it's things you have been working through. It has to do with other people. So you may know somebody of the air element, Gemini and Aquarius, that are figuring very strongly in your life. We have the, once again, retrograde in Venus about our love and our relationships and everything in Gemini, the air element. And then we have Saturn, the restrictive and straightforward taskmaster in retrograde in Aquarius, the other air sign. There's a lot of air element. There's a lot of confusion. We're wanting to break through that now. We're starting to really focus in on what we really believe, because we're spending the time now with this retrograde where nothing can push forward quickly, but not to be too contradictory with the eclipses. They can definitely bring things in and out. They eclipse things out very rapidly. It's happened in my life. A lot of times we know, a lot of times we definitely don't. Always for our betterment. We further understand it as the months go on, because it's a story that's being told when we have the eclipses in series like this. We've had the one on the 5th, we'll have the one on the 20th, and the third will be July 5th. That'll be in Capricorn, so that's the Earth again. So I'll talk about that next month. But just know that, you know, your thoughts create your life. They create things. They are so incredibly potent and highly energetic. So when you have thoughts that aren't making you feel your best, please remember that you have the ability to change that station, you know, talk it out, express how you feel. Don't hold it inside. Take a walk, go in your garden, do yoga, do whatever you need to do to release that now, because it's the time for the new beginning starting on the new moon solar eclipse, which also happens to be, you know, the first day of summer, right? On the 20th, I believe, the solar, yeah, the first day of summer. So if it's not the 20th, it's the 20th. It's all happening. There's so much newness, so much possibility, and unlimited opportunity coming. And then it's followed with, you guys, for the Empress, the major arcana of the Empress. This is the epitome of love, the goddess of love, the mother, the maternal, you know, of life source, and that complete and total understanding of the co-creation that happens with source and with ourselves. You know, we're in this together. We're always one, you know. In me, as me, is me. It could very well be, there's, this is a very fertile sign, so it could very well indicate if you're not pregnant, you are thinking about it, you are about to have a child, you're birthing this new incredible idea because you've had time, maybe you haven't been able to work, or even if you have, you thought, this isn't what I want anymore, I'm going to change this, I'm going to do what I want because I'm passionate about it, which always reaps incredible results. The passion is what brings things to life, you know. And I know it's a lesson. It has been for me. I've done things out of complete survival mode, you know. I'm right there with you. Not anymore, though. I love deeply what I do as a reader and as a massage therapist. It is how I live and breathe. And this is what's happening. This is what's being presented and offered to you in a relationship, nurturing it, you know, letting it build and growing to another level. I absolutely love that for you. It's so important and vital for relationships of all kinds. So Then the next you have is the Four of Wands, the fire, the passion, the stability. Once again, the lunar eclipse was in Sagittarius, which is fire, which is all about bringing it forth. You know, we have our thoughts, we have our emotions, but the fiery elements are what make it happen. They bring it into action, they bring it into physical form. And there's stability and security. You know, the analogy of the four walls, you know, the wands are the things that we use, the tools to make things happen for our fundamental needs. Our homes, or, you know, to feed ourselves, our gardens, whatever it is, it's the earth, but it's fire. So yeah, beautiful, beautiful sustenance and stability and security that I think has been missing for a lot of us. You know, it never really is gone, but it's hard sometimes to distinguish that when we see so much chaos around us. We got to go inward when that happens and take in that beautiful energy of creation that we can do. And you two are so creative. I think you two together working on a project, or, you know, a book comes to mind, is just, I don't know, podcast, anything media-wise. I think you would be supremely great in that as a couple. But this is saying, go for your dreams, make that happen for yourself. This is the time. There's so much powerful, beautiful energy. And then you have the Ace of Cups. Once again, the water element, the ace, the beginning, the beautiful, beautiful inspiration that's being given to you, you know, the gift. If you're willing to receive it, you will, and you will take it to places you probably wouldn't even imagine. If you let your mind go, information can come through your crown chakra, your third eye. You've got this third eye on the back of this. Wow, it's there for you, and it's just full. Your cup runneth over is what this is showing, the Ace of Chalice. It's like a beautiful fountain. It's filling us up and pouring out to share with others. I see it as being something that has to do, especially with the two of you, you know, helping others and bringing that out as a huge possible global connection somehow. And the foreign aspect of the Sagittarius, the travel, distant, local, is hugely, hugely affected this month. It's a beautiful, beautiful time, and your friendships, your love relationships, all of the love part of it is what's going to fuel every bit of this. So let me read to you the beautiful message of the oracle that was picked just for you two for the month of June. And it can go onward because, like I said, the eclipses are going to bring the storyline for months to come. You know, you might find out right away about things. You might resonate with this instantly, but I think it'll continue to grow as the month and onward goes forward. And you have the Queen of the Light. I mean, it's so perfect, right? Everything is just beautifully divinely guided. Illumination, enlightenment, celebration. Number 15, the 1 and 5 equals 6. We're in the 6th month of June. 6s represent that balance we seek. I mean, my gosh, that's been brought up so much. It's so perfect, Libra. And Pisces. Pisces need that balance, you know? And yeah, for work life, for outer balances with others, not just internally, that's highlighted greatly. So I'll read to you what this message has just for you. And it says, number 15. I love this reading. I'm really feeling very enlightened, for sure. So hopefully I can read it. Forgive me if I stumble. My speech is highly affected by the retrogrades. The Queen of the Light is a beautiful ally and comes into your life to herald success in all your adventures or ventures. She illuminates the most important steps on your path and reminds you of your own brilliance. You're intelligent and inspired, and all your needs will be met. Remember that you're the instrument of the divine shining through you in this world. You're on the correct path for your highest good. I always love hearing that. And we tend to question that, you know. The Queen always brings you insight into how you manifest your reality in the most miraculous ways. She promises that you'll be shown the next right action and celebrates you as you stand brilliant, joyful, and enlightened in the present time. You've worked hard to come this far. You can be proud to stand tall in your conviction that in your heart of hearts, you know the truth of your situation. Rewards for your perseverance and willingness to learn are on their way. Gratitude and acceptance are key today. Well, I think that's something that you naturally understand and resonate with. So once again, perfect. Perfect and beautiful and necessary to hear, you know, even when we know it. I love hearing it. And last but not least, your Super Attractor Manifestation card of the day, and for the rest of the month, for you two, is when I'm tuned into the energy of abundance, I become abundant. It's really that simple. And that energy is what creates everything. Everything is energy, right? Hold on to that good feeling. Watch it change and transpire into this beautiful, beautiful life force. So that's for you. And thank you once again. I love this reading. I hope that you resonate. And if you like what you see, please do push the subscribe button. I would love that very, very much. Maybe the notification bell so you know when I upload. I also do individual readings per sign for each month. So that'll be at the beginning of July. But the most important thing now for everybody and yourselves, you beautiful Libra and Pisces, is to take great care of yourselves so that you can be the best for yourself and everybody, because you matter. We all do. And it's really important. Thank you. I greatly, once again, appreciate you. Take care until next time. Bye for now.